That's it, E3 2017 is over. All major publishers wrapped up their conferences, and it's fair to say that the biggest announcements have been made. The last massive conference obviously was Sony's, the conference I was looking most forward to since PlayStation is my preferred platform and I'm eagerly anticipating almost every single of their big exclusive games. I was extremely nervous and my expectations were sky high, especially because of Sony's legendary E3 2016 conference. Unfortunately this time I leave E3 and the Sony conference slightly disappointed. The reason I waited so long to publish my Sony conference reaction is due to the simple fact that I wasn't sure how to score Sony's showcase. Eventually I came up with the contradictory title The Best Worst Sony Conference, which actually captures the essence of the conference quite well, I think. It was amazing, everything they showed looked amazing, they didn't really make big mistakes. Just like last year there was almost no talking, the games spoke for themselves, most of them were high caliber exclusives, but it was too short. This is the only mistake Sony made really. Nonetheless, it leaves a sour taste in everyone's mouth and leads many to rate Sony's conference worse than it actually was. It was an incredible conference that tried to recapture the spirit and structure of the last year's conference. And it almost did, however, it was incredibly short and was lacking one important element: surprises. The element of surprise and insane unexpected announcements is the lifeblood of E3 and a practice Sony perfected over the last couple of years. When it comes to bombshell announcements, Sony managed to take the cake every single time. Kojima's next IP, an epic God of War opening, Shenmue 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake and The Last Guardian. Except for the Shadow of the Colossus remake and Monster Hunter World, Sony didn't include a what the fuck moment in this year's conference. Again, everything they showed blew my mind in terms of graphical splendor, world design and atmosphere. It's just that we knew God of War would be there. We knew Spider-Man would be there. We knew Days Gone would be there. We knew Detroit would be there. Sony needed an announcement that wasn't quite that obvious, like my greatly anticipated Bloodborne sequel or Sucker Punch's next IP. I can't believe we didn't saw the new Sucker Punch game. I think most people saw that as a given. It's also a little bummer that Spider-Man and God of War were the only AAA exclusive games that got a rough release window. I don't understand why neither Days Gone nor Detroit didn't get a concrete release date. Both games looked pretty far along and polished, and I don't believe development started later than on God of War. So that's basically all the negative stuff I have to say, but as I said, I still think it was a solid and enjoyable fast-paced showcase. Let me switch gears for a bit and focus on the things that left a positive impression on me. I just said that Sony's showcase was lacking what the fuck moments. However, that's not to say that there were no surprises at all. The Shadow of the Colossus remake blew my mind. In 1,000 years I wouldn't have predicted a complete recreation of one of my all-time favorite games. Shadow of the Colossus has a special place in my heart. It's a one-of-a-kind game, something truly special and unique. So the fact that I get the chance to relive this experience with overhauled controls and in current-gen graphics certainly made this announcement my magic moment of the show. Of course, everyone's favorite Spartan also made its return in the form of a more than impressive gameplay trailer for God of War, which finally has a release window. In early 2018, so probably in March one has to assume, we will get the opportunity to play what could potentially be the best God of War yet. This trailer proved once more that Sony Santa Monica knows its way around top-notch graphics and adrenaline-fueled combat systems. What really stood out for me though was the emotional component. Finally a God of War game wants to be more than just a technical showcase. Finally Kratos as a character has intrigue and emotional depth. Even the story teasers in the trailer were extremely interesting. I think now it's fair to say that this reimagined God of War not only conquers Mount Olympus in a technical way, but also from a story and character standpoint. I can't wait. Just take a look at this.
What is it saying? wants to help us!
Days Gone received a new gameplay demo which focused on the minute-to-minute open world gameplay. Environmental kills, stealth options and the weaponizing of freaker hordes continue to make the game look better and better. Many label Days Gone The Last of Us in an open world setting. Don't know about you, but to my ears this sounds like a game I want to play. Still no release date though. Spider-Man seems to be way better than I thought. It actually is a Spider-Man game with the fidelity and gameplay quality of a Rocksteady Arkham game, mixed with Uncharted-like action sequences. I'm not at all worried that Insomniac won't deliver a captivating and enjoyable gameplay loop. I think the gameplay approach of Ratchet & Clank and Sunset Overdrive qualify Insomniac as the perfect developer for an open-world Spider-Man game. The initial Uncharted trailer confirmed that Lost Legacy looks absolutely stunning and is far more than just a small single-player expansion. Instead, it appears to be an almost full-fledged standalone title that features everything Uncharted 4 is known for, but probably in a more compressed way, which honestly could end up elevating the Lost Legacy above A Thief's End. I also got quite the Uncharted 2 vibes from the phenomenal Asian jungle settings and helicopter action sequence. The fact that the Lost Legacy only is a few months away makes it even sweeter. All in all, this year's conference couldn't match last year's legendary announcement Overkill, but I still think it was a good conference. The fact that The Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding and Sucker Punch's new IP were absent increases at least the possibility for an awesome PSX later this year.